Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, I'm Tommy. Welcome to SalonFree. Before this video and beginning your journey to dyeing your hair, it is important to understand that what we are sharing with you are general guidelines.
Anytime you're using chemicals on your hair, it's important to know that things can go wrong. If at any time you're not confident about what to do, how to do it, or if you should do it, please don't do it.
Enjoy the video!
Let's talk about the difference between permanent, demi-permanent, semi-permanent, and temporary dye.
When dyeing your hair, it is important you pick the right dye for the right job. So let's break down what each of these dyes are and how they work. Temporary dye. Temporary means just what it says. It's going to be temporary. Temporary dyes are designed to last until they're shampooed out. Now, if you have overly porous hair, there is a possibility that temporary dye will stay in your hair. This could cause any of the products that we are about to discuss to last longer than usual. Over porous hair, not good. Spray dye, like the stuff you use on Halloween. They come in a variety of colors and they shampoo right out. Colored shampoos are another great example of temporary dye. These shampoos are used to add a touch of color to both your natural and your dyed hair. And then there's colored hair mascaras and chalk. They're another great example of temporary dye. Again, a dye like this is designed only to last until it's shampooed out. Temporary dye is great if you're just trying something for the day or adding a touch of color.
Semi-permanent dye. Semi-permanent dye is a dye that is designed to get lighter or fade every time you shampoo your hair. It can last anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. Semi-permanent dyes are great for glossing your hair if you just need some shine. They also come in a wide variety of shades. Basically, every color from the bright bold rainbow to natural, light, medium, dark hair colors. Semi-permanent dye is great if you're wanting to enhance your natural hair color. Semi-permanent hair dye cannot lighten your natural hair color. It can only enhance or darken your hair. Remember, it'll begin to come out of your hair from the very first time you shampoo your hair. Semi-permanent does not last very long.
Let's talk about demi-permanent dyes now. Demi-permanent dyes are designed to last about 4 to 6 weeks. Just like semi-permanent dye, demi-permanent dye cannot lighten your natural hair color. Demi-permanent dyes can only enhance or darken your natural hair color.
Demi-permanent dye has no ammonia, but it is mixed with a peroxide. When a dye is mixed with a peroxide, it helps open the hair up and allow the dye in. This is what helps the dye last longer. People often confuse semi-permanent and demi-permanent. An easy way to remember the difference is semi-permanent sits on top of your hair like a spray tan sits on top of your skin, and a demi-permanent goes into your hair like a real tan from the sun.
Demi-permanent dye is great if you are starting to gray and you don't want to commit to a permanent dye. It'll blend the grays away for a highlighted look. Now, if you are wanting to enhance or darken your hair and you want it to last a little bit longer than a semi-permanent, demi-permanent dye is great for refreshing hair that has been previously dyed and now it's faded. We put a demi-permanent dye on our hair every couple of weeks just to keep it looking fresh.
Let's get into the mother of all hair dye, permanent hair dye. It is designed to permanently change your hair. It's important to understand that your hair will not be permanently the color you just dyed it. It will fade.
Just because the box says permanent does not mean it will hold in your hair longer than a demi-permanent. Permanent means it has permanently changed the hair strand itself, forever, because it's permanent. As we discussed in our My Roots Are Hot and My Ends Are Not video, hair dye cannot change the color of previously dyed hair. This is due to the fact that the hair itself was permanently changed. If you know you have dyed your hair with a permanent dye before, you will need to remove the old dye before you can dye it with a new color. Check out our Out with the Old, In with the New video on how to properly and safely remove the hair dye.
Permanent dye can do really amazing things. It is the only type of hair dye that can lighten your natural hair color. This is because it contains ammonia, or an ammonia-like ingredient. Watch our ammonia video. It's important that you only attempt to lighten your hair only 1 or 2 shades. If you try to go lighter than that, you'll pull reddish orange tones.
Permanent dye can also cover your gray 100%. If you are having trouble covering your grays, go to the page on our website that is fully committed to gray hair. Permanent hair dye can not only lighten your natural hair color and cover your gray, but it can also be used to enhance or darken your natural hair color, just like the rest of the dyes. Permanent hair dye is truly one of the most versatile products you can buy. So, we have discussed the difference between temporary, it shampoos right out; semi-permanent, it fades with every single shampoo; demi-permanent, it hangs around about 4 to 6 weeks; and permanent will permanently change your hair, even after you don't see it anymore. You now have the ability to pick out the right dye for the right job next time you are in the box hair dye aisle. Remember, hair dye can only do what it says it can do, so read the directions.
Please feel free to email us with any questions. Visit the Contact Us page at SALONFREE.com.
It is important to read and follow all directions on or in the box. This includes doing a patch test and a strand test. Thank you for watching.
Have a beautiful day.